Hi, everybody. How's it going? It's for me. It's a Sunday. Yeah, there's not too much more I can say about the date. I'm in Japan. Small talk, right? I'm in Japan. It's Sunday evening. I did the grocery shopping with the wife earlier today. The weather is nice. It was nice and sunny. This is the downside of being, 2021 human being is you spend all your time inside. It was nice and sunny outside today, right? I thought a couple times I should go outside and actually get some sun. Way back in the day, I wasn't alive, obviously, but 100,000 years ago or something. People would never be inside. I don't think a cave all day. That's essentially what we're doing by staying indoors all day. But it's so easy to stay indoors all day, right? So yeah, there it is. I was indoors all day. I really need to get outside and get some sun and do some exercise, but it's so much. Man, I just like being in. I like being outside, but man, I've got the guitars, I've got music, I've got all kinds of stuff inside that I can be doing that I enjoy doing. It's always so easy to put it off. Anyhow, that's a bit of small talk. I hope you guys are doing great. Uh, I'm using on my Mac photo booth to do this recording. All my gear is at my school where I work, and so like my camera equipment, like all my music equipment. Like, usually I have a couple huge amps behind me. I took them to school. I'm so sad that they're not here because I love them. They're like my security blanket. Just love having those things around. Just even if I'm not using them, just the vibe that they give. The atmosphere in the room is just I love it. So they're gone. I just have my little Katana Air, I think it's called, and it's a really good amp. I love having that thing here because it's so easy to play. Especially I use this guy with it. So easy to play and get good sound out of it. So that's enough for the house. Why did I bring all my stuff to school? Like all my camera equipment, like and lights and stuff like that, and mics and everything. I was doing a whole bunch of training videos for the Board of Education and stuff like that. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But anyway, I did a lot of stuff recording recently, and then I'll probably do some more for like teacher training at the school or who knows what. I'm just getting into like online course creation training stuff. And then, so I've got a lot of the camera equipment at the school. Music equipment. Like I brought the bulk of my music equipment over to the school. Why did I do that? Because people know that I love to play guitar. I'm not great, but I do it a lot, and um, I'm not shy about getting out there in public at, like, for example, at the school event or something and doing something, even if I suck. So people said, "Hey, why don't you run the school music club? We need a supervisor for it." I said, "What? Really? Okay, why not?" So I did it, and like I decided to supervise, and we're starting up next week. And I met with the leaders the other day. Um, I don't normally like to talk about my work, but there's such a huge intersection with music here that I don't mind doing it so much. The No, it's because it's fantastic. I've got the amps. There's this one building that's going to be torn down because we're building another building and stuff like that. So this one building that we're in has all these empty rooms. I'm like, man, yeah, this is great because there's one that used to be, I think, used for a music room. It's got a bit of a stage and a lot of space. You can kind of crank up the volume on those big amps, and I've got the mic set up. It's kind of hard right now with coronavirus, so I'm figuring out how to do that stuff. But yeah, and all some couple bass guitar, acoustic guitar. I bring my electric guitar, but and I end up letting the kids use it, but I prefer not to because, well, I don't mind, but it's my only guitar, right? So if anything crazy happens to it, so yeah. But like I'm just there, and I'm like, hey, why don't you try this? So yeah, I just met with the leaders the other day, and so we're gonna start up with the club members next week, and the kids are so enthusiastic about music in Japan. Somebody mentioned to me, said, "Oh, I didn't know that kids in Japan would be so into music." Yeah, they're really into music, man. They love it, and they love doing it. You think about it, Japan has invented karaoke, right? Around the world, singing along. They're very musical, and so the kids are right into it. It's probably the biggest club, and I'm hugely underqualified to run it. But is that going to stop me? No. So it just means that I'm really psyched to share all of my equipment with them because they've got, like, I've got big amps, and some of the stuff is expensive, and I'm sure like a lot of them wouldn't be able to afford it as kids, and their parents aren't going to say, oh yeah, I'll buy. Most of them wouldn't say, oh yeah, I'll buy you like a couple of amps and a couple of guitars and blah, 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 blah. So I can just bring all that stuff and use it with the kids. And as I say, working with a few kids last week just to organize things, and I just brought them in. I showed them the setup, and I was like, okay, let's jam a bit. And man, I was right into it. I was having more fun than the kids, I think. I was like, hey, yeah, oh yeah, okay, what can you do? What do you know how to do? You're on bass, okay, try this. You want to do? You're doing what? You're doing electric guitar. Okay, here you go. Take this. What's your thing? Drums? Oh man, we don't have drums. I've got a cajon. I think I'm gonna buy some electric drums, though. I'll get some electric drums in here, and we can set that up for you guys. And then, what are you on? Yeah, you're on acoustic. Oh yeah, I've got acoustic set up. Let's go. Let's go. All right, what are you doing? What are you practicing? You're in the key of A. Oh, you don't know that you're in the okay. You're in the key of A. All right, all right. Let's play together. Okay, you guys don't know how to play together. All right, well, let's go with 1-4-5. You don't know 1-4-5. Okay, we're gonna tell you what 1-4-5 is. This is how it works. And so just using 3 chords and just a strum and getting into like, hey, you don't need to be pretty on the guitar. I mean, if you really want to play a nice song and everything, yeah, you could be really technical and everything, but you can sound good and be like dirty and just like hammer on it and get going. And she's hammering and you're hammering and you're hammering. And as long as you're like matching up you're in the same key and you're like, switching chords and stuff like that, you guys can sound good. Because they kind of went right to like, they went, the thing, you go on the internet and you're like, what's an easy song? And so the one girl who's on electric is like, man, what? Okay, that's interesting. That's a song that you really like? He said, no, I just looked for an easy song. I said, well, that is not an easy song, man. You're doing like muting, palm muting, and little strumming things like muted not arpeggio, but like, just you got a lot of little like intermediate to advanced techniques in there that you're trying to pull off. That is not an easy song. Here's an easy song. Here, you just go like this, and then you just use one finger and you slide it up here and you slide it back there and you slide it down here. Yeah, there you go. And then you on bass, you got to own that bass. You got to put a little attitude on it. This is your song. Boom, boom. Not dun, 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 dun. I mean, you could dun, dun, dun for a nice slow song is nice, but man, you just put a little ad. This is your song. You're the bass. You're the leader. Get everybody following you. You own this song. This little girl's going. That's good, man. So anyway, long story short, all my gear is at the school mostly. I brought this guy home. I had it at the school and I brought it home. Because I brought I have a Dreadnought acoustic that has I put in a nice pickup. Was it Biggs? Something Biggs? Not Biggs. I don't know. A good pickup. and but it has a good sound. It was a cheap guitar. I only bought it. It was like $100, but then used. And this one store, this great store in downtown Osaka. It's called the America Town, and they have cool shops there. And there's one guitar shop called Ishibashi Music. And on the second floor, they have first floor is like all electric guitars and you know, like fancy electronic equipment. But in the back, you go through this hall with this corridor. In the front, you walk in. Well, you just get there, and there's like on the outside they have stickers and stuff like that you can buy, and then you go in the door, and then there's like all this like in the first foyer there's like a lot of electronic equipment, maybe DJ stuff or something, I don't know. And then there's like go up a couple steps, and there's this hallway, this corridor of guitars and electric guitars hanging out. You're like, oh man, this is awesome. It's just kind of like walking through a field and having your hands, brush against the wheat or something. It's like you walk through this corridor and just slamming against the guitars and absorbing their vibes. And you get past that, and then there's like another big open room of guitars. There's a bunch of guitars in there. And it's like, hey, wow, this is a nice store. And then you go up to the second. You got to go out of the store and go up to the second floor, and they have acoustic stuff upstairs. And they've got this section that has a lot of used acoustic. And it's really cool because each guitar has a little tag on it, and there's a rating about the condition of the guitar, like the different parts of the guitar. So it'll get an A rating or a B rating or a B minus rating. And it'll say on the tag as well, like, why did it get a B rating? Like, what's wrong with the guitar that needs to be improved, and so on. So it's a nice way to go around and check. Is this a guitar that you want to spend your money on? Because there might be deficiencies that you don't know just by looking at it or holding for a bit, but you get the experts in there who are dealing with guitars all the time, and they've written it down for you. So this is what's wrong with the guitar, and just so you know, transparency, right? Really appreciate that. So this one guitar that I bought, I went in one day and I was like trying a whole bunch of guitars, and so I'm not a great guitar player, but I've got really keen ears. Not like pitch perfect or anything like that, but just I can hear. It's like spider sense. So I got really cute. So I was like, okay, what guitar sounds good to me? I guess audiophiles are like that, I suppose. So what guitar sounds good to me? And I tried a whole bunch, and then I just settled on this one that I thought, and I was taking into account, is it the strings? Like, new strings will make a guitar sound different, right? So I was factoring that in. I was like, I wasn't worrying about that. So, but this one guitar sounded good. I was like, and it's only $100, and it's a Japanese company called Morris. The neck though is like fat on it, is like half a baseball bat. And it's probably made in the 70s, and cheap, and there's like a bunch of them around. And anyway, I bought it because it had a good sound. Right? Why do guitars do that? Like, two of them could look exactly the same, but one of them has a nice sound and the other not as good. So anyway, all right, well, this one sounds good. So I brought it home, and I changed some of the parts. I changed the tuners on it. What did I put on? Grover tuners or something like that. Changed the bridge because it was nasty. And then, I put in a pickup, and the brand name eludes me. It's a famous company, and it's a really good, it's like top of the line pickup. I kind of do that. And then, but what I also discovered is this guitar likes to have expensive strings on it. Expensive acoustic guitar strings, right? Steel string. And so I get the Dario, and they're like, how much are they? They're like probably like $20 or something, or $25 or something for a set. But what I've noticed is, like, when you start wailing on this acoustic guitar, this cheap $100 acoustic guitar, it really comes alive, and the sound is really good. No, unfortunately, well, I don't want to say unfortunately. I painted it up because I do some things with kids and stuff, and I put like sparkly stickers on it, and numbers and the alphabet on it and stuff like that, just to have fun, right? Um, Actually, I heard today. This is a weird thing. Just as an aside, there's like a kinder. What do you call it in North America? Uh, Daycare, like for the little kids before they can go to school. We call it kindergarten or preschool here. Um, there's special words in Japanese, but anyway. So there's like a place right beside where I live, and we know the owner of the place, and they they asked me to go over and do Santa and stuff like that. And so I bring my guitar and I do things. And there's my wife was telling me today there was a kid. I said, when you went like last Christmas, there's this one kid apparently who's just been asking for you and asking for you and asking for you. And so the mother finally contacted my wife. We have a language school as well, and the my so the woman, the mother of the kid, said, "Can we send your kid? Can I send my kid to your school because it keeps asking for John?" Like this one year of like this kid just the kid's how probably like it's got to be like 3 or 4 years old or something. I don't know. But anyway, thank you, little guy. Power of the guitar, huh? Because I go in. I do Santa. Did I do Santa? I think I did guitar at that time. I'm not sure. I've gone a few times and did guitar. Sometimes I just go and do Santa. But I'm pretty sure I always bring my guitar with me. My decorated Morris guitar that was super cheap to buy, and but has a nice sound. I brought that to the school. See, I'm coming all the way around with the story. I brought that to the school for the kids there. We're doing a new club. Think School of Rock. That's kind of what we're doing. And so that's at the school. And I've got these guys here for now. I've got this thing here. This is the first guitar I picked up when I came back to Japan. I did a video on it about my YouTube channel. It's been in my daughter's room for months and months. And I just pulled it up, like played it a bit today because it was here, and I was like, man, this is easy to play. I like this guitar. Where's my pick? So this guitar, that's why I bought it. It's kind of friendly. It's really player friendly. I sanded off the neck. I did another YouTube video about that. I sanded off the neck, and it's so easy to play now. And I kind of rounded the edges and things like that. It's got old strings on it. My thing with this guitar was to leave old strings on it, so it would give me a kind of a rougher sound. Whereas the other guitar that I was just mentioning, I put new strings on it, and when you like are strumming, it gives you a really, beautiful chord sound. But anyway, that little guitar, I was playing that one today, and I was like, oh, this one's really easy to play. Now I remember why I bought that one. This one I really like. I really like this guitar, this Epiphone. I love the color, I love the shape, the style of the whole thing is awesome. The Bigsby is great fun. This thing is the communicator with that. With that amp back there. And I put in P90s, Seymour Duncan Fat Cat P90s. Because when I first bought it, I thought, man, the sound is really dull. Because it had hamburgers in it. I was like, man, I want bright and chimey and crazy. So I kind of want to get a Telecaster, by the way, for that kind of reason. But isn't it a beautiful guitar? I think so. And but this plug-in part is not doing so well. I've like spun it around so many times, and I think it's like crackling now and stuff. But I I want to bring it in to get fixed and maybe change the pots too. I don't know much about pots, but like if I'm gonna do stuff on it, I might as well try to like get it in the best shape possible. These are the stock items. But I feel bad for the people who have to do it because they've got to go through this little hole, right? And how do you get to this thing way back there? Yeah. How do you get to that? The jack way back there. I was like, man, that's not going to be easy because the nut is kind of stuck and everything. Part of me thought, because I used to be a carpenter, I was like, man, I should just like cut a little door here and, you know, put hinges on it and just make it easy for everybody. I don't know why don't they do that? But then yeah, I think, man, like I'll probably be like stoned for doing something like that because it's kind of like a beautiful thing, and like if people saw me doing, I don't know, they'd be like, hey man. I could just imagine people getting really angry. I don't really care what people think about it, but I kind of do, I guess. Not that that would stop me, but I guess if people say, "Hey, you're ruining a piece of art," and I could appreciate their argument, then I was like, "Yeah, you know what? You know, I kind of did." But there's definitely a huge part of me thinks I should just make a door here. Why don't they just make a door? Pop, flip it open, right? Anyway, that's good guitar. Resonator, I need to get back on. I haven't done much. I haven't done enough with the resonator. Really want to do more with that because it's got such a cool sound. I don't know if it's in tune. Probably not. Yeah, it's got a nice sound. I should learn how to play that better. Kind of want to put a pickup on it too. It's always something, hey? So I'm starting a new business because I need to finance my addiction to guitar, hobby guitar, man. Anyway. Yeah, that's about it. Is there anything else I need to say today? Probably not. I think I'll end it there. Have yourselves a good day. Bye.